Hey, do you guys remember the blockade of Cuba by President John F. Kennedy?
I've heard of it, Gina, but I don't know much about it. What happened? Can you tell me, Tony?
In 1962, the United States discovered that the Soviet Union had been secretly installing missile sites in Cuba, which was a major threat to national security. The establishment of a missile base in the US front yard shocked the American people. That was driving the American people crazy, right, Gina?
That's right, Tony. So how did President John F. Kennedy respond to that?
He emphatically and forcefully announced the naval blockade of Cuba, which was meant to prevent Soviet ships from delivering more missiles and other military equipment to the island.
Wow, that sounds like a really dangerous situation, right, Gina?
Yes, it was. The blockade put the United States and the Soviet Union on the brink of nuclear war, and tensions were very high for several days.
Did the blockade work, Tony?
Yes, it did, Bella. After several days of negotiations, the Soviet Union agreed to remove the missile sites from Cuba. In exchange for the United States promise not to invade Cuba and to remove United States missiles from Turkey. When the communist regime was established in Cuba, the United States supported Cuban anti-government forces to bring down Castro's Cuban regime.
That's really cool and a relief, Tony. It's scary to think about what could have happened if the situation had escalated. Am I right, Tony?
Absolutely right, Gina. The Cuban Missile Crisis is considered one of the most dangerous moments in the Cold War, and it had a lasting impact on United States-Soviet relations and on global politics more broadly.
It's really fortunate that John F. Kennedy made a great deal to end the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Well, I told you that during the crisis, John F. Kennedy ordered the naval blockade of Cuba to prevent the Soviet Union from delivering more missiles and military equipment to the island. He also made it clear that any attempt to breach the blockade would be seen as an act of aggression. The Kennedy administration showed the Soviets the tough and decisive decisions, right?
Yes, that's right, Tony.
But behind the scenes, John F. Kennedy was also engaged in secret negotiations with the Soviet leader to find a way to end the crisis without going to war.
Why did the Soviets simply agree to the deal, Tony?
Well, the Soviet Union was facing a major crisis, as the United States had a much larger nuclear arsenal and the capacity to destroy the Soviet Union several times over. Khrushchev realized that the situation could easily escalate into a full-scale nuclear war, and he didn't want that to happen. In a word, the Soviet Union was terrified.
So that's why John F. Kennedy was able to end the crisis without going to war, right, Bella?
That's right, Gina. I tell you one more time, many people consider it one of the greatest diplomatic triumphs in United States history.
Yes, I agree with that, Bella. It's really the triumph of diplomacy for the United States. It was a very tense situation, and it took a lot of skill and courage on John F. Kennedy's part to navigate it successfully. But in the end, he was able to prevent a nuclear war and preserve peace.
Thank you for watching the video, The Blockade of Cuba, Cuban Missile Crisis, provided by History and Current Events. Gina, Bella, and Tony have contributed so far as narrators. Thank you.